All right, Tommy.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Another very nice day here in beautiful River. Welcome back from Miami. Great job down there, bringing home a nice win.
Big win.
But I'd like to start the show off with a little comment here.
Sure.
Our buddy of ours, Peter. A lot of our viewers know him. He's in the hospital right now. He had some type of UTI or something, and he tried to get a hold of me last night. He didn't sound real well on the phone, and if you could keep him in your thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going through a rough stage, and God, we love him. And Pete, get back to that room as fast as you can, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, buddy. As soon as we're able to visit. Good start, Tommy. Yeah, let's talk about the Bills game a little bit. A couple things. Hotter than hell. They said the real field temperature was 100 degrees. Unbelievable. There's some ridiculous shit down there where they now you got to prepay parking. It was sold out. We had to park at some community center in the hood, it was during the day, so okay. But I'll tell you, 1989 when we were there, Tommy, they plopped it in the middle of nowhere. It was beautiful. Everything was fine. Within 30 years, they built a community there, and it's the hood. Bars on the windows. It's absurd. But anyway,
shame what's happening.
Mile-and-a-half walk, which was tough on my hip, but obviously worth it. 35-0.
Great outcome. The Bills played very nice. Yeah, it wasn't a thing of perfection on offense, but I think in the second half they got more comfortable with what they were looking at. Mm-hmm. And an interesting analytics stat came out that when targeted, their get open rates. I don't quite get the stat, but when they're targeted, Diggs and Beasley and Sanders in place of Brown are open even more separation
than last year. Wow.
So what indeed that tells us, I'm not quite sure. That's only when targeted.
Yeah. Well, I think it tells us too. I mean, let's face it. We're not panicking. We're not saying he's done. We're not saying he took the money and run. Josh's a little off. He knows it, and he's the kind of guy that'll fix it because he's his worst critic. So.
And having said that, you played Pittsburgh with a really nice front four, and Miami's got a hell of a DBs.
Their DBs are fantastic. So no, I'm not worried about him in the least. He'll figure it out.
I'm not worried at all either. Just keep rolling up the wins, and our goal, like we keep saying here on the show, how are we playing in January?
Yeah.
Let's hit our high then.
Absolutely. By the way, shout out to the boys. I was there with Zach and Alex, and your two boys were there, Ryan and Tommy John, with some friends, and Joey Bauer, and we had a great time together. And
they went to the state game the day before and saw a nice win for Michigan State.
That's pretty cool. What a nice weekend that was.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Again, not as bad as week one, but the announcing crew, Matt Millen.
Boy, I went on Twitter because I didn't hear it. I was at the game. They
stunned.
were ripping Matt Millen, saying one of the worst ever.
I don't know what's going on here, but he commented about Buffalo struggling in the heat when you come from up there and that.
Yeah, meanwhile, it was a heat index of 92 the same day in Buffalo.
I get that if that's the same temp and we're coming from December or November.
Yeah.
But do some weather research there, Matt, Chubby.
Quick, weather app.
It was pretty hot and humid. Having said that, the college players the day before, Michigan and Miami, were both on O2, and that's hot.
Let me tell you guys, luckily for those of you who haven't been down there lately, they did put those canopies on about 10 years ago. So your 300 level where we had nice seats on the 40-yard line. That's under a canopy. So A, it keeps the sun off you. B, it started raining at halftime, and we didn't get wet.
Helps a little bit, unless it's real windy.
That's right. And then the breeze came when that rain came through. And actually, it was bearable. Now, what's unbearable is walking that 3 miles back and forth.
That's tough.
That was tough.
Kind of a shit setup, for people that get on the Bills all the time and the Sabres.
Well, it's a ridiculous setup. I guess my question would be, I had no time. A good friend of mine, Joe Krasnjak, told me about it Friday night.
Yeah, because our kids went down too without any idea of this shit.
Nobody knew you couldn't just park. And I guess one of the questions I would have is, what about, I guess maybe I should have called them when I think about it now. What about disability? I have a disability tag, and I'm walking a mile and a half each way.
Damn right.
I thought it was terrible. But anyway.
Good point. One last quick comment on Millen.
Yeah, sure.
They were talking about Kaseki. He hadn't caught a ball in week one. And he says, you got to get this guy in the offense. And he ended up catching a nice pass, nice game. And Millen made the comment, teams make a mistake guarding him with corners, nickelbacks, safeties, or backers. And they always make that mistake. I don't know what else you guard him with.
Well, maybe a DT.
Trainer.
Maybe Star Latuale.
shoot him. I don't know, but it just sometimes guys.
Yeah,
Steve
just stop
Tasker,
talking.
I love Steve. He does it in the preseason. You don't have to comment on everything.
Maybe
let some of it
stop
go.
talking here and there, right?
Right.
So we turned the page on that. It was a nice game. All around offense, defense was just amazing
Pass
again.
rush was everything that's been.
I personally was nervous when Epinesa took out Tua because I don't think he's their best quarterback.
No.
So I thought that worked out. And in any event, we move on at 1-1. We're statistically the top of the East Division, where we belong. Got a big game against Washington with a rookie quarterback. With this D, I think they're going to drive him nuts. I will say their D is very good, and especially that front four, a bunch of #1 picks. We're going to have to be on our game, but I see us winning there by about 10.
It comes down to this again, like most games. It's the game of QBs, right? And our Josh has got to be on. The offense has got to be moving, and we should be okay and force their rookie quarterback into some mistakes and such.
I mean, let's face it. I hate to look ahead, but we should be a 3-1 ball club after we take on some rookie with Houston the following week. So hopefully we're 3-1, and this is the time we got to win these games because we have some tough games in there. Kansas City and Tennessee, and so there's some stuff coming up in the middle that we're going to have to get by. But in any event, well, and by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. Kansas City certainly not infallible. They don't look fantastic either. But go ahead.
It's scary too, but with Tua hurt, does that Deshaun Watson, the Miami stuff rekindle? Hopefully not, but he's in some trouble anyway. But
right, and I hope not too. And I think what's happening, I would be shocked if he did get traded to Miami, where if the commissioner didn't walk in and say, look, he's on the reserve list, he can't play.
Right, exactly.
So don't make the deal because
plus, I think Miami would give up a lot of their pieces.
Well, they were talking about they want 3 #1s and 2 #2s.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, now you're really mortgaging your future, and the guy could be in jail.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's crazy. So let's move on. We talked about Washington a little bit, and I think that that looks like
exactly right.
A solid game. We don't have to dissect the Bills win. Everybody has by this point. But very proud of this team.
Yep.
Very weird to walk out of that stadium or you being in your house and watch a 35-0 game and say, and I don't even think we didn't play our best game on offense.
Exactly.
I mean, so what an amazing, and what do they say about that? Great teams, right? Don't have to play their best, but they come out with the W.
Right, that's what it is.
And
a little nervous about Matt Hack, but we'll go on with it.
Yeah, so am I. I'm not real thrilled there. But what else we got? So the Sabres open camp and
nice prospects weekend. They had a couple of games there. I liked what I saw in some of the prospects. Their top, Owen Power and some of their other draft picks from this year weren't there.
Well, it's probably because they're going back to their clubs.
And that could be, and there's
maybe
a Swede, right?
Yeah.
Rozak, and Rosine.
Isaac,
and the 3
Rosine,
Russians.
The Russians, and of course Power. And they're not playing next year.
Here, I don't know. But anyways, the Eichel thing, the only thing I got to say on that, they were talking today on our famous commercial sports station.
God, guys, they interrupted the GM and the coach during their press conferences to take a commercial break, and not only that, they didn't come back to him. They said, go to our website. They're a disgrace. It's the only
really
game
is.
in town, and they suck.
Just call Jed. Who cares about Jed? Anyways, they were talking about Eichel and how the Sabres somebody made a comment, the Sabres are handling this perfectly. They both blasted it, and Eichel this and Eichel that. The bottom line is, the rumors are out now that the Sabres tried to trade him a year ago and weren't able to.
After his great season.
After a very nice season. According to the guys on the commercial-fed sports giant, many teams in the league would let him have his surgery and love to have him. Then why aren't they decorating the mahogany?
Yeah. There's something going on.
There is something going on. Why did the Sabres indeed want to trade him? There's got to be a Paul Harvey here somewhere. Let Jack have the surgery. Me personally, he's got a new agent. Sit him down. Let him have the surgery he wants. It is his health.
By the way, buddy, you probably remember this. 2 weeks ago, they did sit down. And they all sat down, and they had the NHLPA there. They had everybody. They all stuck to their views and walked out.
Wow, did not know that.
2 weeks ago, yeah. With the new agent, the Sabres, the GM, the NHLPA, and they all walked out and said no. They dug their heels in.
All right,
so,
well,
it's ugly.
It is ugly, and It's unfortunate, ugly. I think we're a better team with Jack, but I think right now it's
Well, they took the captaincy off him. He failed his physical, so I'm sure he'll be flying back to Boston. They've got to figure something out. He's too big of an asset to let sit. They could, under their rights, the Sabres, I read, they could suspend him without pay. Now, I think that would be...
They did say today they did not.
No, they did not. I'm just saying that remains in their toolbox, but I don't know. I think you'd have such bad blood, it would get really ugly.
And it's a glitch in the system, I think, the CBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes these guys, they don't pay too much attention, like a lot of voters, in what goes in these
Which
things.
we'll talk about later.
Just money, money, money. And that was a key thing where you don't have the right of what kind of surgery you get. That's scary.
Yeah, that is scary. So I think, you know...
And don't jump the Sabres for this. That's a tough thing. That's a neck, and that's a big investment.
It's $50 million left. I mean, my God.
And
$50 million. I know you're going to say he's a billionaire. Who cares? It's $50 million.
It's not from the business and everything else, and it's an investment, guys. And that was slid in. Obviously, they don't just sit around throwing that stuff in. Somebody slid that in for a reason.
Right.
And obviously, Jack wants something he feels more comfortable with, but can you play with that? Can you take it? I don't know, but...
I see both sides, but they've got to figure it out because you've got an asset just sitting and a lot of money just sitting. And
right.
But I tell you, the more I heard Granato this morning until we had to hear about Just Call Jed, the guy wants to play fast. He said something like, we'll teach in practice, but they're going to learn in the games. They're going to make mistakes. That was great.
It's like watching Darlene last year, afraid to make a mistake. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Please.
And where'd you hear it here? With
Right
Kruger.
here.
Where did you hear it?
And
He's Shitstick 2, the sequel.
I really like Granato. I like listening to him.
I do too.
And this Appert, I heard him a little bit the last few days. I like the way he talks. They're on the same page. We're gonna just have to have some patience, but I think this team's in the right direction.
I think they're going to be fun to watch.
Me too.
Our record might not be great, but they're going to be fun to watch, and we'll keep moving forward. I think we need to turn the page.
Oh, to the complete collapsing as we sit here.
The collapse of the United States of America.
By the way, in front of us, you're seeing the whipping that the Haitian immigrants were getting. You see nothing because, indeed, there was nothing.
No whipping.
Maxine Waters bellowing about, this is worse than what she saw in slavery.
What she saw in slavery.
Confused.
Is she like 200 years old? What she saw in slavery.
Chris Cuomo's almost weeping.
Chris Cuomo, he's wailing so much in his basement, he has no idea. He's half blind.
Listen, their horse
The liberal
leads.
bastards have gone at their horse leads. And by the way, they were appalled that he grabbed a criminal by the collar at the Rio Grande. Let me tell you something. They are nothing more than criminals. This is illegal entry into the United States of America.
15,000 of them.
Living under a bridge.
Which, over the horizon, sleepy, stuttering fuck didn't see coming. Living with no toilets or nothing.
Yeah.
And we're worried about a horse chasing some back.
I got no problem with it. In fact,
By the way,
I don't care if the horse rears back and kicks their ass into the Rio Grande. I'm done with it.
I'm done with our border patrol being put down like Nazi stormtroopers. A bunch of those Haitians were put on a plane, flown back to Port-au-Prince, right?
Port-au-Prince.
And beat up the pilot and our the members of the border patrol that were with him. Beat them up.
Beat them up.
All right? So it's not the poor brown and black that can't come into the country. It's horseshit. By the way, the Irish, the Germans, the Italians, the Canadians,
They can't
like
get in.
to come in, they can't get in.
They have to get in legally, okay? And by the way, they're checked for diseases. There are biblical diseases coming back in this country. Cured diseases. Once cured diseases. There was a rumor, not a rumor, there was a writing, an article that leprosy
It's crossing our border.
is crossing the border. That's Jesus Christ. That's biblical.
Yeah, how many more boosters? Testitis is coming in. You look that one up.
This is absurd. This country's going to hell.
Now, go back to the wall, guys. This shit stick took down the wall, did all this shit. But Botoxy, that bitch, lives in a walled facility.
She's got a castle
and just
with
put
walls.
up a 24-foot fence
Around the Capitol.
Around the Capitol because of
But
the
we don't
insurrection.
like walls. But we got gates everywhere. We got every one of these pieces of dirt lifetime
guys,
politicians who have castles with like marksmen at the top of the walls.
Let them eat cake. Let me tell you, that crowd down there under the bridge, Le Pew, Texas,
Yeah.
it's dwindled down to half. We're told
Where are
by
they going?
Jane, I'm a lying
Sucky.
Saki, they're being flown back, yet people coming back from that area said, no, they're on the planes. And buses coming
They're
up here.
They're coming to the red.
And everywhere. They're infected.
They're going to infect this United States of America, and I hear about you have to get vaccinated. You have to do this. You have to do that. You're letting in disease, including COVID. Now we are at the 3-minute and 30-second warning. A couple
Real
things I
quick.
want to bring up.
Here's one quick way.
Go ahead.
I heard this. True. Look it up if you think I'm lying. During the insurrection, all that stuff going on. The police. By the way, Trump okayed the authorization of 20,000. The National Guard. I don't know
Yeah.
the number. It was turned down by Botoxi.
Yep.
They asked for extra police that day. Turned down again by
We don't need it.
Botoxi.
Botoxi.
An hour into this, the woman was killed trying to come through the window. Officers were down. There was all kinds of different reports going, shots fired, all of this. The head of the DOD got a text from Botoxi, wanting to know when the cafeteria was going to be open because her people were hungry. True story. And
But she feared for her life. But she thought
10
about
minutes,
cafeteria.
10 minutes down the road, Sandy
Yeah.
Cortez was fearful that they were going to run a
Gang rape.
a
Train.
a white supremacist train on her.
Yeah.
But speaking of trains, the gown, she goes to a $35,000 ticket
Plate.
gown with a big, beautiful gown that says "Tax the Rich,"
On the
right?
back.
Couldn't the ticket money went to fix Babu's house and put the
What the heck? We've got to fix the house.
let him eat cake?
I'm telling you something. It is beyond ridiculous. I got something to say about our likely mayor now, India Walton, because you know why she's likely the mayor? Because some court decided to overrule a federal court that now Brown is off the ticket. So she comes out today on Twitter, and I am letting people have it now. I'm not holding back. She comes out and says, we've got to stop the police coming into our communities with, like it's a war zone, with the kinds of, what do you got? Guns
Weapons
and weapons. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm losing it. But, and this and that. You know what I came back and said? I said, so you want to take away weapons from our law enforcement so they can walk into these and with one hand behind their back, and make no mistake there, India, Buffalo is a war zone.
And
It's a war zone.
And by the way, guys, the only way to prove the insanity of this is to all of us in Rome do as the Romans. We all need togas, baby.
Yeah.
If it's the new way, then I'm going to shoplift under $900.
Under $900.
I'm going to sign
Walk
a
in and
piece
get a
of
new
paper
bike. Get a
that
new
says,
bike.
I won't shoot anybody.
Yeah,
For
$300.
$300 a month. I want my son. I want to sign up for junior college and get some freebie.
Yeah, because we never
Let's
had
all
that.
do it. I'm going to steal something and take off down the street 105 miles an hour. But most importantly, I'm going to get myself an ATV so I can run up down Harlem Road here with dirt bikes, ATVs,
Knock
motorcycles,
people off
dirt
the
bikes.
road.
And well, there was COVID. There's no place else to go.
I need a new bike, okay? And so I'm going to go and get a bike.
Steal it.
It's under 900. I'm stealing it. One last thing here. We're running out of time. Hopefully in the next few months you're going to see a more svelte Morlock here. I am working very hard on my weight. It's not healthy where I am. I'm working on it. I want to get better. And so hopefully as these weeks go by, you'll see a little bit more svelte Morlock. We've already got more of a svelte Tom Mullen here.
Our goal is by Thanksgiving or possibly early December to be in one stool.
And
That's over the
not,
cuckoo's
and
nest.
that's not the stool that's happening down in Texas. We're talking about these stools we're sitting on.
And by the way, scary. We're 8 months into this shit stick, and we still have
We
3
got
more years.
years to go.
Broken arrow.
God help us.
Broken arrow. And for you military guys, God bless you. You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah. All right, we got to go.
Take care.
Great to be back.
Tell the others.
It's been about 10 days since our last because I was out of town, but hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk soon.
Till the others arrive.
All right, till the others arrive.
Boy, I'll tell you though, I would if I could.
If I
Boy,
could, I would.
Boy, I could.